Hello, everybody. We are once again aboard the beautiful, historic RMS Queen Mary here in Long Beach, California. And we are inside the iconic VERANDAH GRILL, which was a very special room for first-class passengers in her sailing day. And this is a perfect setting for this moment because I am with a very special gentleman. Steve Caloca is the general manager of the Queen Mary Hotel and the attraction here in Long Beach. And it is a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for joining us on the Blue River Channel.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And now, you and I met back in May when we had the soft reopening. And you hosted a little bit of a discussion of what your thoughts were about the Queen Mary in the observation bar. And I was blown away by your appreciation for the history of the Queen Mary. And I think the thing that caught me up the most was the removal of the televisions in the bar. And you said televisions do not belong in this Art Deco bar. It takes away from it. And then you also went on with short-term and long-term goals that you saw for the Queen Mary. So let's go ahead and touch bases on that. Maybe you can let the viewers know what the short-term and long-term goals are for it.
Well, I think it's kind of neat that you remember that about the observation bar.
Yes.
And I'm glad we took the TVs down.
Yeah.
We actually are opening up what we call the game room, which is right behind the observation bar.
Okay.
And we have TVs there, but it's more, it's more the part there.
Right.
But the observation bar is something that's very special to all of us, special to the community. And,
Good.
And we're putting a lot of work into that. So I think short and long term would be, what is there to do on the Queen Mary?
Right.
And that's the biggest thing, and that's what I've kind of tasked our team to ask themselves all the time is, if you were staying here and you're standing there in the main hall and you said, what is there to do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like we're taking that and running with it and trying to create experiences. So, since then we've opened, the Commodore's day room, which is right there.
Yes.
in the main hall. So
I saw you earlier yesterday. You were taking advantage of it.
Right.
Yeah, it was a nice place to have a meeting in there.
So that's the Commodore's office, and we keep the doors open, and anybody who comes onto the ship is able to go talk to the Commodore and ask questions about the ship, and the Commodore takes pictures with them. So it's all creating an experience.
That's a wonderful idea.
We don't charge anything. It's really just create the experience. The other thing is we opened up the Heritage Room, which is if you've seen it already, it's called the Heritage Room Queen Mary Voices.
Yes.
So we have stories and testimonials of the Queen Mary, and we have chairs in there. Again, no charge. It's just to get people in there, get them excited about the Queen Mary, and on the beautiful ship. And we have the deck benches out there on the sun deck,
mm-hmm.
which everybody gets to get a beautiful view of Long Beach. We're just trying to keep it in that same period true type of theme. We just as you know, we did the Los Angeles Art Deco event
beautifully done. I didn't make it, but I saw the pictures.
Oh my gosh, it was a few hundred people there, and it was beautiful. And while we were watching that event with everybody dressed up so
mm-hmm.
magnificent, in period true, we were just looking at that and said, yeah, this is what we said we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep doing more of this and really just kind of keep the history and preserve, what the Queen Mary stands for. So that's kind of like what we're doing now. And we still plan on doing more events. We'd love to do the Art Deco events, which is great. We'd love to do more of those. And then really just kind of, put some work into all the rooms and the event space, but really just keeping the ship, sustain it to where it was before. So
going on that same topic, it's been 5 months now since May.
What
are some of the major accomplishments that you think have taken place so far?
Well, I think major-wise is the new boilers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we have, hot water. So
right.
New boilers, new generator. Just a lot of the infrastructure was something that we spent a lot of time on just to get it up and running, and most importantly, safe. The staterooms, which is equivalent to a sleeping room. The stateroom, we put a lot of work into just making sure that it was not as crowded and very comfortable with new bedding in there. So we put a lot of work into there. The Queen Salon, we put a ton of work into the Queen Salon, and that's kind of like, one of our main rooms right there on the prom deck, and then of course the prom deck, with the teak flooring.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool because right when you come onto the ship on the fourth floor and you look at the teak flooring, and that's the original.
Yes.
I think right there kind of starts everybody off like, wow, that's kind of cool,
I'll tell you, going on the Queen Salon, in all the years that I've been coming on board, the curtains in the Queen Salon have always been drawn. I mean, they're closed, dark in the room. You couldn't see in. Now you keep the curtains open so that even though the room might be closed, the lights are on. You can see inside the windows, and
doesn't that make a difference?
Major.
Somebody on Sunday we started the Art Deco party out, and somebody closed them, and they just closed them, and the party was just starting, and we noticed it, and we said, let's open them back up again. So we opened them, and then I just kind of walked outside looking in, and it makes such a difference. You see everybody dancing and smiling. I mean, it wasn't long that they closed them, but you're absolutely right. It makes such a big difference to keep them open.
And I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but there is beautiful metalwork on from the windows down to the floor.
Oh my gosh!
That you never saw until those windows were open.
Oh my goodness! Because the drapes go all the way down to the floor, so you don't see that.
That's right.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the brass up above the stage was never polished for years. Right. So now it just has that gleaming look, and we're just happy about. We're happy about that. We have a new. We laid down a new linoleum floor in the main hall too, which
looks beautiful.
Which is nice. So it's just steady as it goes. We're just trying to get all the decks open, and again, that burning question: what is there to do on the Queen Mary? We just want to make sure that there's plenty of things to do.
Right. Well, that's really good. Well, to continue on with that point, immersive travel is a huge thing when it comes to a lot of people planning their vacations out. And Alex, a historian who has a YouTube channel, and this is for Alex. I wanted to make sure I read this question exactly. He's asking the question: with the growing trend of hospitality market, the Queen Mary could definitely benefit from becoming an immersive destination resort to attract guests, and with the desire for escapism. What plans are possibly in development to not only attract younger generations of guests, but also to offer the unique features and amenities to entice them to stay on board rather than venture off ship while still holding true to the ship's historic environment?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question, and I'm telling you that I'm excited to answer it.
Good.
I think we look at being a destination. We don't want to just be a visitor center, somebody coming to take a couple tours and then leave.
Yeah.
And we want to get to the point where if you're living in, Springfield, Illinois, that you can fly over here, you can check into the Queen Mary. I'll kind of go through the route here,
Right.
You check into the Queen. Well, first of all, you drive up, you look at the ship, you're in amazement. What a beautiful ship that the city of Long Beach has. You check in, and then you saw our front desk. We try to make that as period true as possible. And we're going to actually change the name where it's like the purser's office, as opposed to front desk. And then you check in, a wonderful big smile. You get your key. Then you look over to the starboard lounge right there at the front desk. And starting this Friday, we're going to have a piano player there. We have a bartender there, and then we're going to have Captain James there. And so there starts off your experience. Hello, tell me about the ship. Have a glass of wine, a glass of champagne, and hear a piano player. And you're right there in the lounge of the Queen Mary, And then you go to your room, or you go to your room and you come back. And then after that, in the evening, it's like, okay, let's go to dinner, or let's go watch a movie on the ship. And then let's go to the observation bar, and hey, let's have a couple of drinks, and then the next morning, let's go out to the deck and let's go do yoga. Get back to the different age groups.
Absolutely.
And but doing yoga on the deck of the Queen Mary, looking at the city and looking out at the ocean, and then having things to do. Going to the travel center on the ship and actually looking at all the things you could do, making reservations right there, whether it's for a cruise to Catalina, whether it's to go on a kayak, or whether it's to go on a pontoon. You could do that all from the ship.
Right.
And then from there, have lunch, go take a tour, take a beautiful tour. After that, do some shopping in the stores, look around at everything that the ship has to offer, and then have dinner, or go to the city, go to Long Beach and have dinner over there. And if you want to just get out for a little bit, come back, take the night tour, which is totally different. And then again, either have a drink at OB, or have a drink at OB and then go to the game room. And
Sure.
again, back to the different different age groups. We actually have foosball in there, and we have
I'm gonna have to check this out. I walked by it, but
and it's all wood. So it's not these metal games. It actually goes with the motif of the room.
that's great.
And then you got big screen TV to watch, football or whatever your favorite sport is, or the Oscars or whatever. And then, go to sleep next morning, go downstairs, have our Royal Sunday brunch, which is world famous. Then after that, we'll go ahead and then after that, we'll, the guests after that will, go to their room and hopefully be happy and know that they just spent a great 2-3 days here at the Queen Mary, pretty much all on the Queen Mary, and enjoying it. And they had tons of photos to take of everything outside, the beautiful city and the beautiful ship, and hopefully they tell their friends, and hopefully they come back and so forth. Yeah.
Well, continuing on with that, I'll tell you, nighttime
Mhm.
on the Queen Mary is
Mhm.
probably my favorite time when she's lit,
Mhm.
especially seeing the funnels lit. And, I don't think a lot of the local residents are really fully aware of the amenities that are available on the ship. Even after the tours end, the observation bar stays open until late night.
Mhm.
The restaurants stay open until mid evening or so. We'll have Sir Winston's here at some point, so there'll be another bar up there.
Yes.
That was very, very popular before
Mhm.
COVID. Not only local residents, but you also have a lot of out of town travelers that are not staying on the Queen Mary, but may want to come on board. And there are a lot of people that do catch on, can come on board,
Mhm.
but it can be cost inhibitive for a lot of local residents.
Mhm.
So my question is, are there any plans being developed to promote and encourage the local community to visit the Queen Mary, not only during the day, but for the evening
Mhm.
features on board, and offer some kind of either a voucher or a discount on the parking that would bring them continuously back to the ship?
Yeah, well, I would say, midweek is probably a little bit of our slower time right now. So if somebody wants to come on the ship, those are usually, we have the hotel that operates within the ship.
Right.
And that would be really a good, good opportunity to get a pretty good rate, stay on the ship, experience everything. So kind of had to throw that out there. But at the same time, the city, thinks it's very important, which I think it's extremely important, is how do we get the locals to come onto the ship more and experience,
Mhm.
what the Queen has to offer. So on Tuesdays, we just offer a $10 flat rate to get onto the ship.
Okay.
So you still have to pay for parking, but still it's $10 to get on the ship all day long. And so once you get onto the ship, you can do the self-guided tour. So essentially you're paying $10. You get on the ship, but guess what? You can go to the engine room. You can go to the
Right.
propeller room. You can go see the ship, model gallery. You can look at the Lego ship, Queen Mary. You can look at all of the artwork that's out there, the archives that are, up on in the main hall. There's so much to see for $10.
Yeah.
So that's going to be on Tuesdays, and then also something we started in the summer was a community free day, and that was.
I remember
do you
that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we invited.
And
the
there were a
community.
lot of people on. There were a
Oh
lot
my
of people on
goodness,
board.
We had
Wow.
so many people.
Yeah.
And the best thing I remember about that day is how many small kids were there, how many families
There
were
were.
there. And that was just wonderful. Our new generation of Queen Mary fans and they were there, and it was just that was wonderful. We had so many people there, so everything we can. I mean, that's part of our mission here is really just to tie ourselves with the Long Beach community and just make sure they know that this is their ship, and we want to just make sure that we make them proud.
That's all the news about the Queen Mary is. I mean, John Thomas was blowing my mind away earlier, and everything coming from you has just been fantastic. But I want to make sure that everybody fully understands that all the different entities that have been involved with the ship. We've had the past operators. So I want to make sure first that everybody knows that the city of Long Beach owns the Queen Mary, and they have owned the Queen Mary since she came here in 1967. Let me know if I'm correct. That the Queen Mary is operated through Evolution Hospitality, I guess, who you're with.
Evolution Hospitality is the operator of the Queen Mary.
Right. And then we have the other entity of the nonprofit end, which is the Queen Mary Heritage Foundation, which is directly involved with the ship. So my question for you is, has there been a growth of a symbiotic relationship between the city, Evolution, and Queen Mary Heritage?
We think it's really important that with the Queen Mary Heritage Foundation, they're doing good works in terms of getting the artwork refurbished and really just looking at the ship overall and seeing what they can do just to make it more of an experience. So I think it's a great relationship. We meet often, and John's a great guy, and I think all of us together we work as a team.
That's good to hear. That's very good. Well, Steve, thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And thank you everybody for joining in. We'll see you soon.